3 days after her tragic death at the Jumeirah Tower Hotel in Dubai, Bollywood superstar Sridevi's mortal remains will finally be returning to India late tonight. Sridevi's body has now left the embalming center and is en route to the Dubai airport. This after the Dubai prosecution ordered the release of the actor's body. The Dubai police handed over clearance letters and documentation to the Kapoor family. Meanwhile, the Dubai Public Prosecutor's Office has released a statement denying any foul play in the actor's death, as has been speculated upon for the last 72 hours. The case is now officially closed. The prosecutor's office said that Sridevi's medical report shows her cause of death as drowning after losing consciousness. All right, we are going across now live to both Dubai as well as Mumbai as we get you live coverage of this developing story. I want to go first straight across to Gaurav Sawant, who's reporting on the ground for us from Dubai. Gaurav, case closed. The prosecutor's office has completed all the documentation. They've handed over the body now to the family, and the body is on its way to the Dubai airport, as I understand it. Can you get us the very latest on where things are at, Gaurav, in Dubai?
Shiv, you're spot on. The case has now been closed. The prosecution's office, the prosecutors have come to the conclusion that prima facie there was no foul play, no malafide, and Sridevi, she fell unconscious. She fell down, hurt her head, fell in the bathtub and accidentally drowned. That was the cause of her death. After the prosecution office's green light this afternoon, her body was taken from the mortuary to the embalming center. It was embalmed just a short while back and now is en route to the airport. The cargo section, unfortunately, her passport has been cancelled and now the mortal remains will be flown back to India. It's about a 3.5-hour long flight to Mumbai. It's a special aircraft that's standing by at the airport.
Yes.
And perhaps in the next 3.5-4 hours, her mortal remains should be back in India.
And, Gaurav, there had been so much speculation over the last, 24 hours or more about what was happening between the Dubai police and the prosecutor's office, whether there were going to be delays, whether there was going to be some family questioned. We are fact-checking everything here on India Today. We're putting out the facts, reporting from Mumbai. Padmaja has been telling us everything that's been happening there with great sensitivity. And you in Dubai now, Gaurav, can you tell us what has happened over the last 24 hours? We understand that these were procedural aspects that led to a certain amount of delay and there was nothing more to it.
Absolutely. Very, very professional, aspect of investigations. I met and I spoke to Vipul, India's Consul General here in Dubai, and he explained the procedures that were being followed by the authorities. And these are two independent departments. Now, anytime there's an unnatural death outside a hospital, there is a police investigation that is initiated. It could be anyone, whether it's a celebrity like Sridevi or it could be a common man. In case there's an unnatural death, the procedures do take anything between 3 days to 7 days for medical reports to come in, for facts to be cross-checked. All these facts the police then give to the prosecution department, and the prosecution department independently carries out an investigation, following which a report is filed, which is what happened in this case. The police spoke to the next of kin, which is Bonnie Kapoor. They also spoke to the first responders in this case. They spoke to the police. The medical report was awaited, the medical report in terms of the toxicology report, the blood report. And once all those reports were analyzed and collated and compared with the interrogation or questioning of others, the prosecution department came to a conclusion, Shiv, and submitted their report to the police saying that the body can be repatriated to India. Then it took about an hour plus for the embalming process to take place, and now the body is on its way to the airport.
Okay, so all the procedures have been followed, all the documentation has been completed, the body has been handed over, the case is closed. The prosecutor's office say no foul play. It was a case of accidental drowning. That's not going to stop the questions that have emerged from this tragic and and disturbing end of a 54-year-old superstar. But we've got some breaking news coming in as we track every aspect of this developing story. Sridevi's homecoming. The body will be reaching Mumbai by late this evening. After the arrival in Mumbai on board Anil Ambani's private jet, the body will be taken to Green Acres, Lokhandwala in Andheri, and tomorrow morning the body will be kept at the Celebration Club for public viewing at 8:30 a.m. Sridevi, according to Yashraj Films, the family has not yet intimated the exact time of cremation, but it is likely to be towards around late morning or towards noon tomorrow. But at 8:30 a.m. will be a public event where fans and admirers will be allowed to pay their respects to Sridevi. I want to go across to our senior editor in Mumbai, Sahil Joshi, breaking this news, this information that's coming in right now. Sahil, we understand that Sridevi's remains are likely to reach Mumbai by 10:30 tonight. Take us through all the preparations from the time the plane lands.
You know, Shiv, earlier they had planned to keep the body at Bhagya Bungalow, which belongs to Boni Kapoor. But, you know, finally it was decided that in the night, the body will be kept at Sridevi's own house in Mumbai, that is Green Acres Bungalow at Lokhandwala near Warsaw. So there the body will be kept. The family will be there in the night. But in the morning, for public viewing, for the public, for the film fraternity to pay last respect to Sridevi, the body will be taken to the Celebrations Club, which is very close by Green Acres house. There the body will be kept. Then at around 10:30, 11 o'clock, the body will be taken to the Pawan Hans crematorium, which is also quite close by, and there finally the cremation will happen with the family and other film fraternities who will be accompanying that the whole march. But this is what is the plan finally being done by the family. That's what the family sources are telling us, and that is what the finally has come out. You know, since yesterday they have been planning these things, but they had no idea that when the procedure will be getting over. But now it is very clear that around 10:30 in the night tonight, the special flight, the chartered flight given by Anil Ambani will be landing in Mumbai. Then it will be taken to the Green Acres, and in the morning, as I mentioned, the whole procession will happen. So the preparations are on at Celebrations Club. We'll have to see that how the rest of the family, which is right now at Anil Kapoor's house, whether they will be going to Green Acres or they will keep staying at Anil Kapoor's house, because right now there is no one at Sridevi's house at Green Acres. But that is what is the house which belongs to Sridevi, which Sridevi built when she finally shifted to Mumbai after a long stint in Bollywood.
Okay, Sahil, stay with me for a moment. I want to bring in Padmaja Joshi as well. She's right outside the Kapoor residence, which has really become the center, the center for where actors and stars have been arriving to pay their respects. Certain amount of uncertainty that has prevailed over the last 2 to 3 days since you've been there, Padmaja, is finally over. Finally, some clarity. The procedures are done, and Sridevi's body will be arriving in Mumbai at about 10:30 p.m. today.
That's right, and which is why after this entire, the entire train of friends and people from the film industry who had come in over the last 2 days, now it seems that the family is getting ready for the final preparations. Very, very unpleasant and an agonizing task, but yes, there will be religious ceremonies will have to be performed, and which is why we can confirm to you that a while ago, Shiv, these are images that we have of some priests who had come in. They stayed in the house for about half an hour. One assumes that they would have spoken to the family about certain rituals that also need to be carried out. First, there will be the entire process of people paying their respects, and then, of course, the religious ceremony will also take place. Shiv.
Okay, I want to go across to Ashraf Ajmal, who is Sridevi's nephew, who's with me on the phone line right now, who received the body. Ashraf, can you take us through the details? When will the flight be taking off, and anything else you can tell us? Ashraf, can you hear me?
हाँ, ओके बोलो।
हाँ, अशरफ, क्या आप बता सकते हैं कि ये फ्लाइट कब टेक ऑफ होगा? कुछ डिटेल्स बताइए।
अभी 2-3 घंटे के अंदर बॉम्बे पहुंचेगा।
ओके, क्या तो अभी एयरपोर्ट पहुंच गया है बॉडी?
हाँ, अभी निकला, इधर से निकला, इधर से एम्बामिंग क्लास हो गया, बॉडी एयरपोर्ट में पहुंचा। तो अभी 2-3 घंटे अंदर बॉम्बे पहुंचेगा।
तो कौन कौन होंगे ये फ्लाइट पे? बोनी कपूर जी होंगे, और कौन होंगे इस फ्लाइट में?
हाँ, वो सब फैमिली है।
क्या आप भी होंगे इस फ्लाइट में, अशरफ जी?
नहीं, मैं दूसरा 5 बॉडी दूसरा भी है, मैं नहीं है।
और कौन होंगे इस फ्लाइट में?
वो मालूम नहीं है साहब जी, कौन उसको फैमिली कौन हमारा को जानता नहीं।
अच्छा, जब आपने ये बॉडी रिसीव किया तो क्या एग्जैक्टली हुआ था? क्या आप बता सकते हैं कुछ डिटेल में क्या हुआ था, कैसे आया था और कैसे आपने रिसीव किया?
वो डिटेल सब उसका काउंसिल के सामने साथ है, हमारे साथ कोई डिटेल्स नहीं है। बॉडी क्लास हो गया, एम्बामिंग किया, एम्बुलेंस में रखा गया, बॉडी डिटेल सब उसके पास है।
ओके, तो अभी बॉडी कहां पर है? अभी दुबई एयरपोर्ट में है?
हाँ, एयरपोर्ट में।
Okay, Ashraf Ajman says, okay, Ashraf Ajman, who received the body, says that the body is now currently at the Dubai airport. The paperwork has been completed. It will take a few hours now for the body to reach India. Of course, like we said, 10:30 p.m. is when it will be arriving. I want to bring in Sahil Joshi once again, if we still have him. Sahil, do we have an idea of who will be on this flight apart from Boni Kapoor?
See, right now, in the morning, actually, today, Boni Kapoor's son from his earlier wife, Arjun Kapoor,
yes,
the film star, he actually flight down to Dubai to be on his father's side. So he also will be likely to be with Boni Kapoor in this flight. Sanjay Kapoor has been there since the time the family had heard about Sridevi's sudden demise. So these 3 people are definitely going to be there in the flight. And some close family friends who were there in Dubai at that time. In fact, Boni Kapoor's another nephew who stays in Dubai was all the time at the forensic center when the forensic tests were happening, the autopsy was happening.
Yes.
So he is also likely to come back to India with them, but we are not sure about it. But the close, if we talk about only the close family, then Boni Kapoor, Sanjay Kapoor and Arjun Kapoor are going to fly down with the body back to Mumbai, and then the body will be taken to Green Acres, as I was mentioning before.
Okay, stay with me, Sahil and Padmaja. I want to bring in Preeti Chaudhary in on 5 Live as well, because Preeti has a copy of the embalming report with her. Preeti, take it away. Tell us what's in it.
All right, Shiv, you know what I do have in my hand, and we just show it to our viewers, is the embalming certificate which has been handed over to the family. I'll just I'll ask my camera person to take our viewers through this. Now, this is an embalming certificate that was given to the family a short while ago. And to take our viewers through this, it has Sridevi's name, it has her age, it has her passport number, which stands cancelled, it says that. Then it has the death certificate registration number, because that's the document that the final remains of Sridevi would be brought under. It talks about the date of death. It also gives out the timing of the date of death. It says the timing is 12 o'clock at night. The place of death, the cause as in death, which we do know is accidental drowning. The place of death, of course, it says UAE, Dubai. No infectious diseases which were found. Now, this is protocol, Shiv. This is, a protocol embalming certificate. If there is a death which is not in a hospital, then the body does always get embalmed. And then a certificate is issued. Now, the embalming particulars here, and I'll take our viewers through what it says. It says certified that the body of above named has been embalmed under my supervision. You spoke to the gentleman concerned, Ashraf Ajman, who conducted the embalming. It further adds that it has been sealed in a suitable coffin and is in a fit condition to travel by air or sea. Quite regular, Shiv. It's a regular certificate because all the documentation which was needed. The reason why we are actually giving it out is because this is an important document. The mortal remains of Sridevi would not have been able to leave the country, Dubai, if they did not have the death certificate, which was acquired yesterday, and now the embalming certificate. It also talks about certified that the body of the above named in particulars have been handed over to name Ashraf Ajman. Now this person has handed over the body to the family. It's got the seal of approval by the Dubai health authorities. It has the primary healthcare staff, which is also stamped on it. So basically, Shiv, this was one document that was keeping the mortal remains of Sridevi from coming back to India, and under the death certificate now, because the passport stands cancelled, it says so, and the embalming certificate is in place. The final paperwork, the protocol, which needs to be completed, is seemingly over. And finally, Shiv, the remains of actor Sridevi would be coming in tonight. We do know at about 10 p.m. is what we are getting to know. And hopefully the actress now will get a befitting farewell for her.
Absolutely. So we've got those details from the embalming report. The body has been handed over to the family. It's at the Dubai airport right now. We understand that there may be obviously those formalities at the Dubai airport that are being gone through right now because all the boxes obviously have to be ticked. Preeti, stay with me for a moment. Padmaja, I want to bring back in. Padmaja, it's been a frustrating few days, I'm sure. Not just for the family, but also many of those involved, because at the end of the day, this was another country. There were procedures that had to be gone through. All the commentary and the controversy surrounding Sridevi's death certainly didn't help. But, finally, I think at the end of these 3 days that you've been reporting, Padmaja, a little bit, at least a semblance of some clarity and some closure creeping in now.
Absolutely, and this is critical, not for anyone else except the family in particular, because when you have this entire, suspicion and conjecture swirling around you, you've already had a loss in the family. It can only be extremely painful, especially when there are children involved in this case. So yes, there is finally going to be closure. At least we know now that by midnight, finally their mother will be back, and after tomorrow's all the religious ceremonies are performed, they can actually go back to healing. It's been far too long. You can see this entire this scrum which has happened. Yes, a lot of criticism has also come our way, whether justified or not, but the fact is that it has been quite a frenzy. The family has been very, very patient through all of it, but finally, hopefully, they will get the peace that they deserve. Sure.
Absolutely, and once again, it's impossible to say this too many times, but our hearts go out especially, to the entire Kapoor family, but especially to Janvi and Khushi, Sridevi's two young daughters. Janvi's first film, Dhadak, is out in July this year, so none of us are even going to presume what she's going through at this point of time, just a few months away from her big entry into Bollywood in the shadow of her great mother. Sridevi's body returns today. It's a tragic, tragic time, and none of us even for a moment assume that we understand what the family is going through at this time. Well, after the autopsy report, there were some political leaders. This is the dark side of the way things happen in this country. And people may ask us why we give attention to certain politicians, why we shine a light on certain politicians. Well, that's precisely it. It's important for the country to know about certain people and the things they say, because in many cases, these are public figures and many of them wield influence. Local media reports mentioned that there were traces of alcohol found in Sridevi's blood samples. What's the big deal, a normal person would think? But they cried foul, saying she didn't drink. Well, here's what some politicians chose to comment on. Here's a report.
One of India's greatest actresses is gone, but the mystery on how she fell into the bathtub remains. Several political leaders are raising questions after some local media reports mentioned that traces of alcohol were found in Sridevi's blood samples. Rajya Sabha MP and BJP leader Subramanian Swamy is among the prominent politicians to suspect foul play in the actor's death.
She never drank hard liquor, so how did it enter her system? Was she forcibly fed? What happened to the CCTV? I have not heard a word about that. Who was the What was the first reaction? First reaction is a heart failure. Why?
Swami is not the first voice of concern. Rajya Sabha MP Amar Singh, who is also a family friend of Sridevi's, said on Monday that the actor never consumed hard liquor.
तथ्यात्मक गड़बड़ी नहीं, जहाँ तक श्रीदेवी जी के बारे में मुझे पता है, हार्ड लिकर का सेवन वो नहीं करते थे.
While initial reports hinted that megastar Sridevi died due to cardiac arrest, Dubai Police's forensic reports reveal that the actress died from accidental drowning. Experts believe drowning is difficult in a bathtub, but not entirely impossible. A cardiac arrest can also not be ruled out completely in case of accidental drowning.
So truly, cardiac arrest, when we talk about cardiac arrest, is the end result even of a drowning. So cardiac arrest is when a heart stops, and a heart can stop from drowning, heart can stop from heart attacks, heart can stop from an embolism. So all that can actually happen. One of the important things to understand and realize is that yes, it is a difficult situation to drown in a bathtub, but not impossible.
Now that the Dubai prosecution has closed the case and ruled out foul play, all controversies surrounding the death will hopefully be put to rest. With Gaurav Sawant in Dubai, Bureau Report, India Today.
We're going to keep a light switched on this big story. Remember that Sridevi's body arrives at 10:30 p.m. today. Around 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, between 10:30 a.m. and noon is when the cremation is likely to take place. Welcome back. Sridevi of Tamil movies was a completely different actor and person from what you watched in Hawaii or Chandni, O Mere Chandni, Mr. India, Lamhe, any of the other films that made her such an iconic star in Bollywood. Remember, she was a big superstar long before Bollywood. This transformation to suit Bollywood left Tamil audiences longing for that subtle, natural actor. They didn't get her back. She died as Shri. But would have life been different as Sridevi?
In the Hindi film industry, she dominates, she falls into the lap of these macho movies, you know. So when she acts with people like Jitendra and all of that, I mean, you watch her purely for her graceful execution of her dance. She's a great dancer. And you just watch a film for just dancing, and I feel that's not enough.
Being in South India, you have to be the girl next door types, and yeah, you have to be more homely. And this transformation, what she has done to herself, has been a major strength, and that is what has turned her into the Bollywood as a super star female.
One of the famous songs, I still love that song in Tamil, Valve Mayam. Neelavana cholayil neendidunna chandrige.
It seems like, the memories that Sridevi has left behind is the only thing that will captivate all these people and all the cinema goers year after year, even after a demise. A tragic end to an era is what we consider now with the demise of
Sridevi had left a void in Tamil cinema years ago when she went to Bollywood. Now her death has denied any chance for the Tamil audience to see her in characters like that of Archana, Maile or Kokila. For Tamil audience, she will always be remembered as Devi, Sridevi. Of course, they still have the regret. If only Sridevi had stayed back in the South movies. With Akshaya Nath and Shalini Lobo, this is Priyamvada in Delhi for India Today.
And Priyamvada is with us. And Priyamvada, I'm so glad you've put the focus on something that, so many viewers, so many consumers of news and this tragic story will be missing today, which is, people calling her Bollywood's first female superstar. I think people tend to forget that Sridevi was a superstar long before she even entered Bollywood. And I think you've done the right thing, Priyamvada, by reminding all of us that there were really two Sridevis, one before Bollywood and one after.
Yes, Shiv. I mean, coming from Tamil Nadu, having growing up watching her movies in the 1980s and 1990s, I would say personally love Maile or Archana from the movie Johnny. That was her. Off screen, many of us would have interacted or met Sridevi, which I have done. She was that kind of a person, very quiet, measured words, gentle, graceful, and that's exactly what she portrayed in Tamil, and she competed with icons like Kamal Hassan, Rajinikanth. She had an equal meaty role. They were not superstars. They were already superstars, but Sridevi was equal. She was pitched against them with equally meaty roles by Balachandar, Bharati Raja, Balu Mahendra. Even in Moonram Pirai, I remember many wondered why Sridevi did not get the national award, because her role, that particular role in Tamil of a mentally unstable person, was not at all dramatized. Nobody felt it's artificial. Everyone was able to relate to the character, which was quite normal and natural. That was Sridevi before she went to Bollywood. And everyone in Tamil Nadu, even now, if you ask, I'm sure you are from Chennai, they will say they loved that front curl of Sridevi, that sari, slightly overweight, chubby, and most importantly, that lovely, beautiful eyes and nose and lips, very defined look, which everyone still adores, and acting, of course.
Absolutely, and I think fans everywhere in this country, from the south, from Bollywood, from Mumbai, from everywhere in the country, regarded Sridevi with a certain amount of admiration, if not absolute admiration, and she will be one of India's unforgettable stars. Definitely gone too soon. Priyamada, thanks for bringing us that report that reminds us of the two Sridevis that this country really had before and after Bollywood, because she wasn't just a Bollywood diva. I mean, overwhelming amounts of the coverage you see today may indicate that she was a Bollywood star. She was that rare superstar that bridged, like Priyamada said, the connect between North and South, worked with all major superstars, including Talaivar and Kamal. Joining us live now from Mumbai, an actor who starred with Sridevi in the 1994 film Ladla. Ravina Tandon is with us. Ravina, thank you very much for speaking to India Today and on being on 5 Live. India hit is mourning by the untimely demise of Sridevi. As someone who spent all her time in Bollywood, what are your memories of Sridevi, Ravina? You even acted with her in one of 1994's biggest films, Ladla.
Well, you know, the first time I remember setting my eyes on her was when she was shooting for a rain song for a film called Nazrana, which was directed by my dad. And there was Rajesh Khanna ji and there was Shabana ji in the film. And I remember just sitting there and watching her from afar, totally mesmerized by, you know, the kind of dancing and the kind of talent that she had. I think she was just magnificent.
You know, one of the things, you know, all the controversy and speculation, Ravina, that you've seen surrounding the death of Sridevi, you know, people talking to their friends and family, wondering if this could happen to someone like a Sridevi who appeared to be fit and as young as she was, then, you know, it really brings out questions about everyone else's mortality and this sense of mortality now.
Well, you know, it's as what you said, things that are coming out is that it was an accident and an unfortunate one. So you know, I think that when one has to go, destiny you know, makes up excuses. I've always believed in that a little, to be a little more spiritual or take it in a philosophical manner. When you're destined to go, you just go. It could be anything. It could be a freak accident for all you know. And for me, this actually sounds like a freak accident. I mean, we've heard of people going for a morning walk and a tree falling on their heads and them just, you know, getting the whole story is over in a couple of seconds. And I feel this is just one of those complete you know, I mean, it's incomprehensible that something like this could happen, and in a moment of seconds that she's just gone. It's all over. We all woke up with a shock the next morning. I think we're all still reeling under that shock.
And you know, always in our thoughts, Ravina, is Janvi, Sridevi's daughter, whose first film she's getting ready for that big Bollywood release, Dhadak, in July this year. Horribly tragic for that young lady who won't be around, whose mother won't be around to see that film come out.
I think as a mentor, I think Shri was always so maternal right from the beginning.
Yes.
I have worked with a lot of superstars, a lot of senior actresses, and all of them, trust me, were not so welcoming. I met Shri when I was only 2 films old. I'd met her when I was a child, but then I actually got a chance to work with her, and from the first day onwards I was completely smitten. She would just walk into the room and walk into a scene and completely steal everyone's thunder. But she was also so comfortable. There was a sense of comfort. There was a sense of I think a maternal love in her, which always, in fact, a lot of people at that time used to say, when she'd not talk to anyone or she would not communicate with everyone, and everyone used to say, how is it that you get along so well with her? And I would be sitting in her vanity van and we'd be chatting through the day. There were times when I was getting ready, still doing my makeup, and she would come and knock at my door at the vanity van and say, come on, what are you doing? It's taking so long. Come and join me and we'll sit and chat. And so there was never that. I mean, she was a mega star. She was a superstar. She never had that air about her. She never made you feel, oh, you are not. She made you feel like you are a colleague, you're an equal, and you're a friend. And I saw that beautiful maternal side in her with her daughters. She was just so, proud of her daughters. There were times when I would meet her with Janvi and I'd look at Janvi and say, my God, you're stunning. And Shri would beam, you could see that whole pride in her. It is so tragic that she will not be able to probably be there in those moments with, to share her daughter's glory. But I think she'll be in our hearts forever, and somewhere I'm most definite that she'll be watching and she'll be giving her blessings. And I have no doubt about that.
Any final thoughts, Ravina, on the end of an actor? I mean, she had taken a break from acting. She'd made this wonderful comeback with English, Finglish and Mom. Had a very promising start to what, looked like it was going to be a great second innings. A diva. She had the spotlight back on her. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't think it was a constant need for her. In fact, I think a lot of us who got married, immediately started working a couple of years hence from our marriage or our babies. But Shri took a 15-year break.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a long time for anyone to say that, oh my God, she felt the need to be constantly in the limelight. She took a huge break and she came back. She came back with such a bang. You can't take that away from her. She was a superstar. She will be a superstar, and she will remain so in our hearts forever. And I think she automatically commanded that kind of respect. When Shri would walk into a room or walk into onto a set, automatically that sense of respect and that sense of adulation you could see in people's eyes. So I think that whatever she did in a very, very dignified manner with grace and respectability.
Ravina, thank you very much for speaking to India today and remembering Sridevi as we pay tribute. Okay, we've got some breaking news. We've got an update coming in on the transfer of Sridevi's body back to India. The body has been taken to the Dubai airport cargo area and will be airlifted by a private jet belonging to Anil Ambani. Indian embassy officials in Dubai say the flight is likely to take off within the next hour. In 1 hour's time, Sridevi's body will take off in a private jet from Dubai and head straight to Mumbai. It will be arriving later this evening, after which, like we've been reporting, arrangements will be made for a public viewing tomorrow morning and then a funeral. Her cremation late in the morning tomorrow or around noon. Those timings are still to be firmed up. Boney Kapoor, his son Arjun Kapoor and unnamed others will be on board this aircraft as it takes off within the next hour and heads straight back to Mumbai. These are the latest details that we have. The images that you see on your left are of vehicles that have transferred the body from the mortuary and the embalming center to the Dubai airport, from where Anil Ambani's private jet awaits receipt of the casket, which is currently in the cargo area of the Dubai airport, after which it will be flown straight back to India. Our Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan is on the phone line with us. Geeta, all procedures done. The body is now being transferred through the cargo area, we understand, of Dubai airport before the flight takes off in an hour.
Well, that's right, Shiv. All procedures done. Sort of a clean sheet given to everyone who was questioned revolving around Sridevi's death. And after the closure of the case, the papers were handed over to the embassy officials and the family members. Like you rightly pointing out, the casket is at the airport, and I spoke to the Indian embassy officials who are there with the family members. They're saying that it would take about an hour's time or maybe less for the flight to take off. The necessary clearances, Shiv, that were required from the airport authorities for the flight to take off, and clearances from concerned departments, all those were done simultaneously, even as clearances were being handed over to the embassy officials and to the family members, and then the embalming process had begun. That's when the clearances for the flight also were taken from the airport authorities and the concerned department. So in less than an hour's time, the flight will take off, and this would be the final journey of Sridevi from Dubai to India.
Geeta, I wanted to check with you. Do we have any clarity on who all will be on board this aircraft that's bringing her mortal remains back to Mumbai? We can assume that Boney Kapoor and Arjun Kapoor will be there. Will there be any officials or anyone else that you're aware of?
Well, I've asked the same questions, whether officials are accompanying. For now, what we're given to understand, Shiv, is that there are no officials from the embassy who are accompanying, but family members certainly will be on board the very same flight. It's a chartered flight, it's a private plane, and so the family members certainly will be traveling with the mortal remains on the very same flight that would be bringing the mortal remains of Sridevi back. But for now, no confirmation on whether any embassy officials would be accompanying the family members, given that the flight is a direct flight, Shiv. It comes directly from the Dubai to Mumbai, will land in Mumbai, and officials over there then will take over in terms of at least the procedures at the airport.
Okay, Geeta, I'm going to come back to you right after this very short break. We're going to try and get Geeta in front of the camera so we can see her and get more information from her on the other side of this very short break. We're continuing to keep the spotlight on this big story. In less than an hour, Sridevi's mortal remains will be on board that aircraft and flying back to India. I'm back with the headlines and the latest development on that big story right after these messages. Stay with us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.